All right, this is Marco Palmero, founder of Ulysses in Dubai. In this video, I want to talk with you about how we are able to support other companies with off-book deal flow and investment opportunities in UAE and Middle East. Now, first of all, allow me to say that this off-book strategy was created by us out of necessity, because as we were in the process of sourcing our own transactions for our own consolidation and acquisition model, we wanted to have a proprietary system that wasn't relying on any third party and that could enable us to find good opportunities on a predictable basis that were not necessarily available on the market. As we refined the strategy and as we built the relationship that actually enable us to have a strong system in place, we realized that we could make this system, this solution available to other companies. And that's when we decided to build a service that is the off-book deal flow service available at Ulysses. Now, what are some of the challenges that people and companies struggle with when they want to identify acquisitions and investment opportunities in UAE and Middle East? I'm talking from a personal experience, so some of the challenges are the ones that I've struggled with, and others are the ones that other companies we work with have faced, either early stage or later stage. Now, the first and most important thing I need to mention is that there's lack of data in UAE and Middle East from an acquisition standpoint. So it's very difficult to find quality information about targets, even the ones that are available in the open market. As a consequence, it becomes time consuming to find suitable candidates and get enough of them to make a good assessment about the market and decide which opportunity you would like to pursue. That is a huge challenge for companies that sometimes want to allocate capital within a reasonable time frame, or they want to close on a transaction in 2-3 quarters. And so that is a problem that a lot of businesses struggle with. They don't want to go through all the steps that are necessary to find these good opportunities, and they just want to get access to the data right now. That is, again, an issue that many companies struggle with. Then there is the capacity constraint. That is something that might be more relevant to companies of smaller size, like the one that we were as Ulysses. So the capabilities of handling a deal, but at the same time keeping deal flow going, were very limited for us at a certain point. So as we were pursuing a transaction, we wanted to put 100% of our focus on that deal. But of course, we also wanted to keep our other deal flow available in case that transaction didn't close. And the problem we faced many times is that we were forced to stop our deal flow process. And as a transaction didn't materialize, we were forced to start the process from zero. And so it took a lot of time to ramp up our deal flow pipeline. And of course, we wanted to avoid that at all cost because it wasted a lot of time. So off-book deal flow really supported us with that because it created a steady inflow of leads that we can manage and that other small businesses or medium-sized companies can manage, while at the same time they handle other acquisitions, maybe in other geographies. Then I'm looking at my notes here because there are a lot of points that I want to cover and I want to make sure I don't forget some of those. There are the issues of confidentiality and lack of relationship in the Middle East. As I discussed in many other videos, relationship and trust are mandatory, and they're a very solid pillar of business in the Middle East. As a consequence, expecting to come in on a short notice and close a transaction that is actually a good one are honestly very slim. And so it is important for companies to understand that either you have a off-book deal flow system that is already generating leads for you, or you're gonna need a lot more time to get to that point where you've built the relationship and you can actually close viable transactions. Now, in addition to that, and I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning, the whole point about off-book deal flow is that we want to find deals that are outside of the market, that are not available to everyone. And that is because these opportunities are generally the best ones. And getting back to the concept of confidentiality and trust, many times people might want to sell their business, but they might not have it listed anywhere simply because they are afraid that their business will get diluted in value the moment everybody knows is available for sale. And so the interesting point there is that building the relationship really enable companies like yourself or myself to access quality deal flow that nobody else has access to. And that is where you really get the gems, the premium opportunities, the good deals that will generate tremendous returns for you and your company. So that's the whole purpose of off-book deal flow. This, kind of like the service that we are able to provide to other companies because it worked for us so well. Lastly, I think it is important to mention that I believe certain models like brokerage systems and to some extent investment banking are kind of like obsolete because one, you're only going to get offered the deals that these companies have access to. And in many cases, you're going to get offered deals that these people can control from A to Z and where they can earn the maximum amount of fees. So you're not going to get access to a full picture of the market and potentially the best opportunities. You're just going to get access to the opportunities that are the most suitable for the intermediary that you're interacting with. The off-book deal flow strategy that we developed cuts, directly to the chase and avoid all these processes because it basically enables you to take control of the sale process. So what we do is we leverage our network and expertise to source off-market opportunities on your behalf. But the qualification process and the final decision are up to you. So what we're basically providing you is quality deal flow that is not available to everyone. But then the selection process and the control of the transaction is left with you. And that, from my perspective, is tremendous control over a deal because it not only enables you to get first a full picture of what the market is all about because we don't have any bias, because we don't earn fees on the deal. So we just share all the transactions that are available and then you pick them on your own. But also it enables you then to negotiate the deal on your own terms and take real control of the transaction because you're interacting with the seller one-on-one. We don't get involved with that. So basically we take care of the process of sourcing the lead and presenting the lead to you. But the moment you decide you want to move forward with that, then everything is left with you. And that is tremendous power, tremendous control over a transaction. So those are some of the challenges that I faced, that I've seen other companies face. And I've seen that, this off-book strategy really works well, specifically because, again, the accessibility to good deals is something that people value a lot. And thanks to our 150 years of combined experience, we're able to really bridge the technical capabilities, but also the networking capability to access transactions in basically any market, in any sector here in the Middle East. Of course, some sectors are our preference and are our bread and butter, but the model is can be replicated substantially with any industry, provided you know what you're looking for and you're ready to step into the game. So how does the process work when we go about setting up our off-book deal flow system for somebody else? Because you might say, well, the process has worked so well for yourself, and how do we know it's going to work well for us too? Well, of course, the first step is a assessment of what your needs and necessities are, because of course we need to understand if the addressable market is big enough for you to get enough opportunities through the door. Once we understand that, and we know really what you're looking for, so company size, ticket size, profitability level, employees, geography, focus, and all these sorts of stuff. Then we can really create a strategy for sourcing these opportunities for you. And that is a laser beam strategy that, it really cuts to the most valuable opportunities that are outside the market that nobody might be aware of. And you get access to those, and you are basically in the driver's seat at that moment. Once we get access to that, then we pre-qualify the opportunity, and you're able to review that without disclosing your company information. And that is another important point. Many times we talk with businesses that want to assess the market, but they don't necessarily want to put their name out in the open, because that might affect their business back home. It might give other people a understanding of what their plans are from a strategic perspective. And so working with the off-book deal flow system that we developed, you can basically do your own due diligence on the market and identify opportunities without putting your name out in the open. And once you are committed in some of the opportunities and you decided you want to step in, then you can really enter the deal and the opportunity and start the interaction. But until that very moment, you are basically anonymous, because we take care of the process for you. That is something that we have seen has tremendous value, especially for big companies, because they want to keep everything confidential, at least until they're sure that these opportunities are the right fit for them and they're ready to move forward. Of course, after this initial assessment and evaluation process, which again is anonymous, then there is the final decision, and the deals that we have sourced will become available to you, and you can just step in and take control of the transaction and start executing on that, following your own principles. Of course, we won't get involved in that, because again, we believe in leaving you in control of the transaction, and that's the real value of off-book deal flow. And the point is, from that moment on, everything is in your control. So in summary, what I believe is the true beauty of this off-book deal flow system is that it puts the buyer in control, and it enables us to leverage our experience and knowledge to provide you with off-market opportunities that nobody else has access to. But at the same time, it enables you to then leverage these opportunities and control them to the greater extent. It can control them fully. So if you're interested in finding out more about this off-book deal flow system, we generally engage with a selected amount of companies on a quarterly basis, simply because we want to deliver the maximum quality to them. But if you're interested in that, and if we have available slot, make sure you check the link below, and you will find all the details to get in contact with us and access these off-market opportunities, investment opportunities, acquisition opportunities that are sourced and selected by us. So basically, we source, qualify, and deliver to you off-market acquisitions and investment opportunities that you can then pull the trigger on. Make sure you check the link down in the description, and I'll see you in the